My best friend, 26F, slept with my cheating ex, 28M, and tried to hide it. I feel like I'm in some kind of sick joke. I don't even know how to process this. The two people I trusted the most completely betrayed me, and one of them is standing here acting like I should be happy for her. Let me back up. My ex and I broke up a year ago after I found out he had been cheating on me for months, and not just with one girl. He had a whole rotation. When I finally dumped his lying ass, I was shattered, but at least I had my best friend, Emily, fake name. She was furious at him, called him a narcissistic asshole, swore she'd never even look in his direction again. She was the one who told me I deserved so much better. Fast forward to last week. Emily started acting off, distant, canceling plans, taking forever to text back, and when she did, she was dry. I figured maybe she was stressed or dating someone new, but something in my gut told me she was hiding something. Then, a mutual friend casually mentioned seeing her at a bar, with my ex. Just the two of them. My stomach dropped. I texted Emily immediately. "Were you with ex's name the other night?" It took her hours to reply. Then she hit me with, "Yeah, I ran into him. It was totally random, we just caught up for a sec." Lie. At this point, I knew something was up, so I decided to do some digging. And that's when I found out the real story, and not from Emily, but from someone else. Apparently, she had been seeing him for weeks. It wasn't some random run-in. She had been sneaking around, sleeping with the same guy who destroyed me, while pretending to be my best friend. I was shaking with rage when I confronted her. I didn't even give her time to weasel her way out of it. I just looked her in the eye and said, "How long have you been fucking my ex?" Her face went pale. At first, she tried the fake innocence act. "What are you talking about?" So I told her everything I knew. She opened and closed her mouth like a fish, then finally sighed and said, "I was going to tell you." "Oh, you were going to tell me? Like when? After the honeymoon phase? After you got engaged? Or maybe when you needed a bridesmaid?" Then she hit me with, "I know this is going to sound crazy, but he's really changed." I almost laughed. Changed? The same guy who lied to my face every day for months? The same guy who swore he was faithful while texting other girls in my bed? That guy changed? I asked her if she actually gave a damn about me. About how she held me while I cried over him. About how she ranted about how disgusting he was, how she swore she'd never forgive him either. And you know what she said? "I do, but people make mistakes." At that point, I couldn't even look at her. I walked out. And now, she's blowing up my phone. Apologizing. Saying she never meant to hurt me, that she didn't plan for this to happen, that love is complicated. No. Lust is complicated. Betrayal is complicated. This is just disgusting. I don't think I can ever look at her the same way again, but we've been friends since we were in preschool. This hurts so much I don't know how I can go on or if I can even forgive her. How do I get the picture of them out of my mind? Obviously she isn't your friend. But he'll cheat on her so she'll lose both of you. And that's karma. Just make sure to get the word out so she can't spread a false narrative. Girl, I understand you're hurt here, but honestly, you are mourning the loss of a friendship of a person who doesn't exist. Get Costco quantities of popcorn ready for the find out phase of Emily's poor life decisions, and be glad the trash is at the curb and no longer in your house. This girl is not your friend. What kind of friend seeks out a relationship with their best friend's ex? No, not okay. Especially behind your back. If she felt like enough time had passed and was interested in him, she should have approached you before pursuing anything and respected how you felt. That's a real friend. Not this girl who snuck around behind your back, lying to you, and then continued lying when confronted. Get some better friends, op. Yeah, don't be friends anymore. Real friends don't do that to you. They are both pieces of shit and don't deserve forgiveness ever. Those friends sticking up for her? Get rid of them, too. Press block. Why would you forgive her? You cut these people out of your life and that's all there is to it. If you forgive her, you are just opening the door to getting betrayed a second time. That cannot happen if you cut her out of your life. Actions have consequences, and honestly, as someone who has been cheated on himself before, I wouldn't be so sure if she maybe was among the girls you got cheated on with initially. Fuck her. Is dating apps cheating? 30 female 32M 10 years. Have been in a relationship for 10 years. We have had a rough year and have recently decided to go to couples therapy. Then found out my boyfriend has downloaded all the dating apps and created a few profiles. I confronted him about it and he said, "Oh, I can delete those, I was just swiping faces, it's just a game." Then proceeded to deflect and start talking about all the things I need to work on and how we just need to communicate better. Asked for some space. Fast forward to another week. In this time while on our computer I see he has Googled how to hide apps and has created 2 more profiles. We meet up to chat and I am waiting for some form of apology, which is none. I bring up the fact I saw he googled this and he said I was snooping and tracking him, said that the apps is just a dopamine hit. Ask for some time for no contact. WTF, am I missing something? To me this is cheating? WTF, am I missing something? To me this is cheating? Why are you continuing to waste time with him? He's shown you that he doesn't respect you, and yes, for most, being on dating apps behind your partner's back is considered cheating. A dating app's sole purpose is to find someone to have a sexual or romantic relationship with. Do you think him looking for someone other than you to be sexual or romantic with is cheating? If yes, you've answered your own question. You're both in your 30s, have been together for 10 years, haven't married, are in couples therapy, and he has been using dating apps. This relationship has been over for a long time. End it and give yourself some time. Do you really need to ask? People don't download dating apps to play a game. Honey, let me hold your hand while I tell you. That's literal cheating. He is just snooping around to get a chance and you will take it. It would have been a different thing if it was downloaded by mistake, but he downloaded so many and is dumb enough to search on Google about how to hide apps. He isn't into you anymore. You're just a placeholder for him, now. Leave now with your dignity. Me 61 female married. Me, 36M, my wife, 34F, my wife is talking to another man but she swears they're just friends. Okay, so as the title says, my wife is talking to another man, she swears they're just friends but she hid it for 10 days and when I found out I went through her phone. I know it was wrong but I had a gut feeling she was doing something and I read her texts before confronting her and her texts to him are harmless but his texts to her are flirting and calling her cute, adorable and beautiful. She thinks that it's okay and that I shouldn't be upset that she wants a friend, but can you be friends with someone that wants something more? I don't know what to do or say, so I am making this post to get people's opinions on the matter and will show her later. We have been together for 7 years and have 5 kids together. I don't want to lose her but I don't know what to say. Show she can see that I'm uncomfortable. She said she was only going to keep it professional because he's a client for her work, but I caught her texting him and video calling with him from home and her job isn't the type where she needs to contact him from home. That will make it unprofessional in my eyes. So Reddit, what do you think? Am I insane for thinking my wife shouldn't talk to or be friends with someone who wants more than friendship? Did you ask her how she would feel if a girl was doing that to you? For whatever reason, she's seeking male attention elsewhere and she isn't apologetic. You both know it's not appropriate and she hid it because she knows. Invite the guy for a stepdad interview. I wonder how much he would like that, and also find your balls ASAP. This isn't friendship. She is cheating. You don't hide texts to another man while you are married. He is clearly interested and she reciprocates. I am very sorry, no one deserves to be cheated on. It is not about you, it's about her. She has majorly betrayed you and the family unit. She is using him for validation. This will escalate because he is making her feel good. Need to squash it or it will get bad. Good luck. Update me. Shut this down now and be clear this is inappropriate and ends today. I'm significant other trapped and alone. I feel like I'm dying. 33F35M. I don't even know how to go on. Today is another day of pure hell. Here we go again. Up until Saturday things have been significant other good, after being awful for a bit. I truly believed he had a breakthrough. It was all about how much he loves me and we're starting a business together. It really felt so amazing to feel so loved and wanted and cared about. It was like finally we made it. Significant other much happened Saturday from the 15 hours day he had. News to his friend committing sway, % to my car breaking down in the road. It was just a lot. However, with each other, all was well. We'll make it through. We have each other, yada yada, he kept telling me. I fell asleep with our newborn that I finally got to sleep. It was a battle for sure, and with the day we had, I was out. I woke up and he wasn't in bed, so I called him. He said he was taking the couch but loves me so much etc. and didn't want to wake the baby. No problem, but I was sad to not see him. I missed him dearly. I wake up Sunday morning and go downstairs. He's at the sink. He turns and looks at me and my heart sank into my stomach. I know that look. I know that pure hell will begin. I run up to him and hug him and kiss him and very excitedly say I missed you. He gave me a halfway hug. I put the baby down and go back to him. Let's try that again. And I try to hug and kiss him and he just pulls away. He said his hands were full. He was holding flowers. So I took them and put them on the counter. Problem solved, I laughed and he did the same thing again. So I'm like, okay then. I walked away and got the baby all cleaned up. I go into the kitchen for my phone and he says extremely hateful, I'm not doing your %ed in it today. Wait. What? What are you talking about? Then he begins to start yelling and cussing at me. I'm significant other shook because my walls were down 100% and this is extremely unexpected. I told him that we can talk about whatever is bothering him or the true issue, but not like this. He begins screaming that I am the issue. So I keep begging him to stop screaming and cussing because the kids are upstairs. He gets louder and louder. I am now bawling my eyes out. I go back to bed. I go downstairs to check the baby and he's watching TV. I tell him it's so unfair I have to go through this because I did nothing wrong. He then starts screaming to shut the f up and getting closer in my face and screaming louder and louder. Woke the baby, now she's screaming. The kids are scared to come downstairs. He said significant other much mean and cruel things to me. I felt like I completely shattered on the floor. Like something broke inside of me. The deepest mourning and sadness I've ever felt. I had just collapsed on the bed and taking some meds for my migraine. A few hours go by and he tries to talk to me. I'm too upset to speak. Then he came back and said he was sorry, but I was still so numb. How can sorry cover all those deep cuts? I chose to not join the family to go out. Why? Because my eyes were nearly swollen shut from crying. I was too humiliated to face the world. Once they came home he didn't see me or say a word. I went to sleep. Monday my oldest had a college tour, which is very exciting. First thing in the morning he starts off with nitpicking and rude comments. Why? On all the days. I can't do this today, it's taking everything I have to even get dressed. He apologized and said no more comments. We go to breakfast before the tour. It was good, coming up with questions to ask etc. Then, he starts again. He absolutely humiliated me at the restaurant. I get my coat and said I was going to the bathroom as they went to the car. He said something petty and I told him I'm not doing this. Not today. As I started walking away he yells after me. Toxic. More toxic behavior. You're toxic. I said seriously. You're really doing this. And he then yells "Bu bye love you." Everyone was staring, so I started walking out because I was humiliated. I was shaking with so many emotions. How could he be doing this on my son's big day? We stop for gloves and I'm crying. He said before he got out that if I even try to make it seem like this is on him, I'll be sorry. And got out of the car. Like what? I didn't even do anything. The whole college trip was okay, so we went to lunch to discuss everything. Then, he starts with his comments again. Such ridiculous and unrelated comments. So yes, I get upset. We leave and now it's a yelling match the whole way home. He says I married him and how he is. He can't make jokes around me and on and on. Let's be very clear. There were no jokes at all. He then said yeah, he was being passive-aggressive and jabbing me. Why? Out of nowhere, for no reason. So yeah, I'm crying because again something is ruined for my son. Again, we get home, he left me in the car after screaming at me when my son went inside. I tried to calm down before going inside. I go in and it was pure hell. He said significant other much extremely cruel and hateful things to me. Things that cut my very soul extremely deep. And he kept going and going. I leave to get my other son from school. I slide into a ditch. I call him a million times and no answer. The fire department got us out, thankfully. I get home and tell him what happened. He hugs me and said he's sorry and how much he loves me. Then he leaves to take my daughter to basketball. He gets home and I don't speak. He goes to pick her up and came home to a big meal. We all eat at the table. He hugs me and says thank you and he loves me. I go to bed. Today I get up early and get the kids off, then go to church and the store. He's still in bed, off today. I get home barely because I was trying so hard to not pee my pants. Literally. I rush inside, put the baby down and CHGO to the bathroom. I come out and get the baby out of the seat and go sit on the couch where he's watching TV. I didn't say a word. Neither did he. Since it was nap time for the baby I put her down and said I'm going to bed until my daughter's game. Just a few hours because I feel too painful and broken to even be near him. He loses it screaming at me, cussing at me, being so mean, waking the baby up and going on and on and on. Now I'm crying because who wouldn't being treated this way? I get the baby packed again and leave. I have absolutely nowhere to go. FML literally nowhere. He comes outside and is holding into the trunk so I can't leave. I feel so panicked and trapped. He finally lets go just to try to break the window. I drive off and he just flips me off. I come home because I have absolutely nowhere to go and come to bed. We haven't talked since. I have no car now, no money, no family, no friends, no way out. I am just living such a lie. Everyone thinks we're this amazing and wonderful family, but behind closed doors, it is true hell. I know suicide is never an option, but sometimes, it truly sounds like the only way out. I don't even know why I'm writing this. I feel so foolish telling my oldest that things are good and defending him and our relationship etc. so hard because before it had been so bad and we've made leaps and bounds. Just to end up at square one. I'm not reading all this, I read enough in the first few paragraphs. You need to grow a spine. I'm saying this because there are children involved here and your partner is abusive in the absolute extreme and you need to grow a spine to protect them. There is no other way. Leave him. Go somewhere safe with your children and never have anything to do with him again. There is no getting better, there is no fixing this. Leave. I feel bad for those kids. They don't deserve that. Divorce. I didn't even finish reading the whole post because I basically already know how this goes. I went through this with my ex, except he was an alcoholic, and that's when his mean, manic, abusive, emotional, mental, and verbal abuse self would rear its ugly head. It was terrible, and then the next day after he sobered up, he'd come to me and apologize. Tell me he loves me so much and that he didn't mean it. We can get through this together, blah blah blah. I'd let my guard down and boom, collision. The same thing would happen again later that night. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. This is abuse and you need to leave ASAP. It's never going to get better and you will never change. No matter how hard you try or what you do. It absolutely will not change. Leave him. You know he's never going to change. Stop defending him, protect yourself, protect your kids before things get much worse. He obviously has power over you, but you have to divorce. Aren't there laws where you live that can protect you? Can't you go to the police? Are there programs or things like that that can provide lodging for you and your kids while you run away?